Eskom says there is a strong possibility of further load shedding today as the power system remains constrained. The power utility has blamed striking workers for sabotaging the power generation and intimidating workers. Yesterday, Eskom implemented stage 2 load shedding from 5 p.m. onwards. Wage negotiations are set to resume on Tuesday as workers demand a 15% salary increase. Meanwhile, the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, NUMSA, says the unions cannot be blamed for the load shedding that has been taking place, as Eskom management should have countermeasures and coal reserves for such situations. Well, for more, we are now joined on the line by Eskom spokesperson, Mr. Khulupasiwe. A very good morning to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Essentially, what is the latest with regards to the Eskom strike?
Well, if you allow me to use medical terms, we are in a critical but stable condition at the moment, meaning that for now, in the early part of the day, the power system generally is relatively stable, but there is a risk still later in the afternoon when the demand starts to pick up. But we'll continue to monitor the situation and update our customers accordingly.
Essentially, what will be some of those counter factors that could lead to load shedding later today?
Well, essentially, the fact that some of our units are still not operating, and also the fact that we also continue to have local stock reserves in our power stations. All of those things put together, plus the fact that there's an increase in terms of demand later in the afternoon due to the cold weather conditions, they result in us having a difficulty in terms of meeting the demand.
Well, reports are saying that Eskom has been sabotaged by workers. What concrete evidence have you found that it is the workers who are sabotaging power supply?
Well, initially, at least, there were some instances where some of our own colleagues were tripping down some of our power distribution networks. But so far, we have about 18 people who have been arrested. So we are hopeful now that Eskom has sort of indicated that it's going to revise its offer, and we're going to meet on Tuesday. Hopefully, all of this measure at least is going to bring some relative calm within Eskom, so that at least from tomorrow, or possibly even from today, we can see people starting going back to work, so that we can have our operations back to normal as soon as possible.
Well, speaking of that offer and those wage negotiations that are set to resume come Tuesday, we do know that workers currently are demanding a 15% salary increase. Is Eskom still standing firm by not willing to put any offer on the table?
Well, as the Minister of Public Enterprises has indicated, Eskom is now going to do away with the 0%. The management and the board of Eskom will have to come up with that plan, and I'm sure during the course of this weekend and tomorrow, they're going to have to come up with a plan as to what is it that they can put on the table. And I'm sure when they do meet with the unions on Tuesday, they would have finalized those final details.
Thank you very much for your time this morning. That was Eskom spokesperson Khulupasiwe, also confirming that going forward, Eskom is going to be putting an offer on the table. We'll have to wait and see come Tuesday to see how those negotiations pan out.